You've got full bars, 4 of them. The signal is right there, and nothing loads. Not the message, not the page, nothing. So the phone is clearly connected, except it isn't doing the one thing being connected is supposed to do. So you do the thing everybody does. Airplane mode on, airplane mode off. And just like that, it's back. Here's what bugs me about that. You didn't move. The tower didn't move. The signal in the room is exactly the same as it was 5 seconds ago. You flipped one little switch, and somehow that fixed it. Which raises a pretty simple question. If the signal never changed, then what did? Out here in the air, nothing changed. Same tower. Same radio waves. Same everything. So whatever got fixed, it didn't happen out here. It happened in here. Somewhere inside the phone, one small thing flipped. And to see it, we have to go past the glass. Here's the first thing almost nobody realizes. Those bars, they're only telling you half the story. They measure one direction, how loudly your phone can hear the tower. That's it. They say nothing about whether your phone is getting answered back. So you can hear the tower perfectly, bars maxed out, and still be shouting into a void. Loud is not the same as connected. Now, a lot of people think airplane mode gives you a stronger signal. It doesn't. If anything, it does the opposite. The whole point of airplane mode is to shut the radio off. You can't boost a signal by turning the radio down, so we're turning the wrong knob. The fix has nothing to do with signal strength. It's about something else entirely. Something with a bunch of settings. Here's where it gets interesting. Your radio isn't just on or off. It moves between a handful of modes. There's a resting mode where it's just listening, a talking mode where it's actually moving data, and on newer networks, a kind of paused, in-between mode. Engineers call these RRC states, but the name doesn't matter. What matters is this. Your phone can be parked in one of these modes and simply stay there. The doorway out is right in front of it. It just doesn't walk through, connected on paper, doing nothing in practice. Picture what that looks like out in the real world. Your phone latched onto one tower a while ago. Maybe it was the best one back then. But you walked into a building, down a street, and now that tower is far or crowded or fading. Meanwhile, there's a fresh, strong tower sitting right next to you, and your phone is ignoring it completely. So why won't it just let go and grab the better one? Because it's not allowed to. Not that easily. This part is actually clever. Your phone is built to be stubborn, on purpose. A nearby tower can't just be a little better to win you over. It has to be clearly better, and it has to stay better for a set amount of time before your phone will make the jump. There's even a name for the rule. Hysteresis. And there's a good reason it exists. Without it, if 2 towers were about equal, your phone would bounce between them over and over. Back and forth, forever. So engineers told it to hold its ground, which usually protects you. But every now and then, that same stubbornness is the whole problem. Think about the alternative for a second. If your phone were constantly scanning, constantly rechecking every tower in range, hunting for something slightly better, it would burn through your battery by lunch. So the trade was deliberate. Stay put. Stay calm. Save power. That's a big part of why your phone lasts all day. But hold on. Because there's a second failure hiding underneath this one. Sometimes your data works fine, and your calls still won't go through. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. On a modern network, your calls don't ride the same connection as your internet. Voice has its own separate sign-in, its own registration, which means one of them can quietly break while the other keeps working perfectly. That's why you'll sometimes have Instagram loading just fine, and a phone call that dies before it even rings. 2 systems. 2 doors. And only one of them locked. But even that's not the whole picture, because sometimes your phone isn't the one making the decision at all. When a tower gets crowded, it can't serve everyone at once, so it does something you'd never guess. It hands your phone a ticket that basically says, "Not now, wait." And your phone obeys. It just sits there, counting down, sometimes for minutes, while it looks totally connected to you. So think about where we are. Your phone can be stuck in the wrong mode, clinging to the wrong tower, half signed in, or told to stand in line. 4 different ways to be connected and still get nothing. And every single one of them has the same escape hatch. So watch what airplane mode actually does. It's not a refresh, it's a demolition. The second you flip it on, your phone lets go of the tower completely. It throws away the temporary IDs it was using, forgets everything. And when you flip it back off, it starts from nothing. It scans across every frequency it can find. It ranks every tower it can hear, fresh, with no loyalty to the one it was stuck on. It picks the best one. It signs back in, and it re-registers your calls separately on top. All of that in a couple of seconds from a single switch. You weren't boosting anything. You were forcing your phone to make its decision all over again. And this is the part I love. When the trick works, it's telling you something. It's proof the problem was never out there in the air. It was a stale decision stuck inside your phone. But when airplane mode doesn't fix it, that's a message too. That means there's nothing better to rebuild to. No coverage. A network outage. A billing problem. Something real. So the same little switch that fixes your signal is quietly diagnosing it. So could the engineers just fix this once and for all? Sort of, but not for free. To make your phone never get stuck, you'd have it searching constantly, and you'd pay for it in battery, or in that endless flip-flopping between towers. The stubbornness that traps you is the exact same stubbornness that gets you through the day on one charge. The annoying bug and the feature you rely on are the same design choice, wearing two different faces. Newer networks are chipping away at this. 5G added a faster way for your phone to wake back up and reconnect, so it gets stuck less often than it used to. The trap is getting smaller, but it's still there. So the next time your phone shows full bars and does absolutely nothing, and that little switch brings it back to life, you'll know the truth. You didn't fix the signal. You reached into a tiny machine that was quietly making decisions in your pocket, and you made it think again. Until next time, stay curious. Curious human.